My next guest is a 13-year military veteran who had his leg amputated, and he spent a year and a half at Walter Reed Medical Center after a mission in Afghanistan that went terribly wrong. Tech Sergeant Brian Williams from the 87th Security Forces Squadron at the Joint Base McGuire-Dix Lakehurst in New Jersey, that's a lot to say, is here with us today with his heroic story. Welcome, and what an honor it is to have you here, Sergeant.
Oh, thank you for having me.
It's great. And when you were in Afghanistan, I don't know exactly what happened, but you're going to tell us and tell the viewers what happened to your leg, and what went so wrong.
Well, basically, ma'am, I was on a mission with the Army unit. I was attached to an Army unit. I'm a military working dog handler. So my job was to sweep and have a safe path of travel for the Army unit behind me. Well, while doing that, an IED went off, and when I came to, I noticed that part of my leg was already blown off below the knee. The Army unit provided self-aid buddy care, and upon doing that, I was medevaced to Kandahar airfield in Afghanistan, and they did more surgeries. And
so you had a lot of surgery. So you were actually kind of unconscious when that happened, right? Because you said when you woke up, right? So you were unconscious?
I believe I was conscious to a certain degree, but
kind of in and out.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now Carly is a military. You're a military dog. I never knew what military dogs do. What did Carly do? And Carly was on your mission with you. What do they do?
Carly was a trained patrol explosive detector dog. He was trained to hunt down explosives and
through the sniffing. Is that what it? I mean,
yes, ma'am. Just through the sniffing of the odors that the explosives like to leave behind. He'll find them, and he potentially was on the trail of something, but it just went off. That's all I can really say.
So did anything happen to him?
No, Carly was unscathed and was fine. After the mission, he was transported back to the States as well, and we were reunited while I was in the hospital.
So where's Carly today?
Right now, to this day, November 11, 2014, he is at home in my residence. He was adopted out, and I was able to adopt him.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's a nice story. So Carly has you as a wonderful friend and kind of master, right?
Yes, ma'am. He's probably the master of that relationship.
Dogs usually are. So what happened when you finally got out of the medical center, and what was the reunion like with your girlfriend then and now your wife? And everybody else, your whole family?
The transition, I was just eager to get back. I was eager to get back to doing what I was doing before everything. And my unit especially helped that transition piece a lot. The community of Joint Base McGuire-Dix Lakehurst, it was a nice homecoming, especially the first day I was officially working. I had a lot of calls, a lot of visitors. It was memorable, and I was just grinding and working from that day forward. Since then, I was awarded NCO of the quarter for the whole base, the wing, as they put it. I won the American Airman Video Contest for the Air Force. That was recent as well.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great.
I'm still grinding, still working. Yeah.
That's what you like to do, right?
That's what you paid to do, yes, ma'am.
So what's next for you, Sergeant?
What's next for me, my next goal would be to continue on and to serve if the military allows me to. Right now, it's in the stages of evaluations, and the process is going through the way it's supposed to.
So that takes time, too.
Yes, ma'am. It takes plenty of time, and the process is going the way it's supposed to. It's just I'm not unscathed by it. I'm still working, doing what I'm supposed to in the meantime as well. I let the process work itself out.
So when you got injured, and it wasn't just your leg, your leg was amputated. When you got injured, you also, there were other injuries, right?
Yes, ma'am. It was a compound fracture to my left hand here, my left wrist. Both eardrums were blown. I lost teeth.
You went through a lot. Did you ever think, Sergeant, that you weren't going to make it?
I didn't really think about that. I was just trying to survive and to live. I mean, when it happened, naturally I didn't want to go, and I didn't want to die.
Right,
The people there that day, they did what they were paid to do as well, and they provided that self-aid buddy care. If they didn't do what they were trained to do, I probably wouldn't have made it. And I talked to one or two of the people that were part of that. It was some closure, just thanking them for doing what they're paid to do as well.
Well, that was important that they were there and that they were doing their jobs.
Yes, ma'am. They're out there grinding just as well as I am right now.
So what do you think is important when people like yourself, military people who've served our country and have served us so wonderfully and admirably, what do they need when they're coming back and they're going into civilian life? What do we need to do to support you and to support them?
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like the American public is doing a great job of that as it is.
Oh, good.
As long as gratitude is great. Veterans Day, what we're here talking about today, it's a day to reflect and remember those that came before, those that still serve, and even those that may serve in the future. I haven't seen anything but gratitude since the injury, and I appreciate the American public for appreciating me, and all I can do is reciprocate back by trying to stay in and continue to serve.
So how do you serve now? What's your role?
It's a lot of admin at this point, ma'am, with the promotion I received after the injury. A lot of admin stuff, supervision, leadership, and that was the part I missed about it more than anything, was the supervision. So that's what I'm doing. I'm supervising majority of the people that have hands-on with the dogs, and and giving them a little bit of a critique when needed.
So when you're doing that, does Carly come with you still, or Carly's just laid back and sleeping at home?
Per the black and white, ma'am, he has to stay at home, and he's perfectly fine with that. We have a lot of fun at home. My wife loves him as well. He makes appearances around the base, but he stays clear from the kennels. He doesn't want to go back there. So
he's done. He let you know he's done.
Yes, ma'am. He's perfectly fine at home.
And he's very happy. And he's lucky that you adopted him and that he has a home.
It was a rare case, ma'am. Secretary of the Air Force had to be the official to let that happen due to how much time he had. He had to be the official to do that.
Well, I'm glad that he did, and thank you so much for taking your time out of Veterans Day, and we salute you, Sergeant, and everything that you've done to serve us.
Well, thank you for having me, ma'am.
My pleasure. Power Your Life will be right back ahead. Find out what's next. Before we go, I'd like to leave you with my PowerPoints for the week. Do you know that your brain is hardwired for success? Inside your brain are these neurotransmitters, and dopamine is one of them. It's often called the reward molecule. Dopamine controls your brain's pleasure and reward center, and it's also linked to your motivation and to reinforcing your behavior. It helps us not just see rewards, but to take action toward them. When you move towards your goals, large or small, more of this happy molecule is released. And guess what else activates it? Physical activity. The next time you achieve something worthwhile to you, your mind and your body will be flooded with satisfaction and with reward. And guess what? You can't beat that. Thanks for being with us today. Tune in next week for another great show with people in your community who will both amaze and inspire you. Remember that you have the power to power your dreams and power your life.